Well, I'm still deep beneath the countryside of Cheshire in the Winsford Salt Mine, and it's the nation's weather that determines just how much demand there is for the rock salt from here, because it's used to stop our roads freezing over in wintertime. And in this part of the mine, chunks of rock are being crushed into grit. 500 feet down, the rock salt, which was once part of an ancient seabed, is mined around the clock. When it's been crushed, there are two sizes of grit to choose from. The 6mm is used mainly on urban roads and motorways, while the 10mm works better on deep snow and ice in rural areas. But just why is it that salt melts ice?
What happens is salt, when it is on the road, absorbs moisture from the air, which would otherwise form the ice in the first place. And this creates the brine solution, and it is this which lowers the freezing point, and thus no ice occurs on the road surface.
That's why it's so important to treat roads before the surface freezes, so the salt can prevent that happening. But salt also works on roads that are already icy. So you've got two trays here of ice, so let's see how effective some salt is.
Okay.
Ice forms when temperatures drop to 0, but brine, the mixture of salt and water, doesn't freeze until it reaches around -7, so it acts as a de-icer. Should the temperature fall much lower, gritting with rock salt isn't effective. Why is it called grit when it's actually salt?
We don't actually use grit anymore. It is solely rock salt.
It is pretty gritty stuff, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, it resembles grit in the way it looks, and the name is really just stuck.
Well, a lot of people, if they find ice on their driveways, will grab the table salt and pour it on. Is that as effective as this?
The white salt you put on your fish and chips is a more refined salt. It has a higher sodium chloride content and will work equally as well as rock salt.
Obviously, it's more expensive.
It is, yes. It's all down to economics in the end. This taxpayers' money, so this is the best we can afford.
Let's see what's happening, Neil.
OK, John. Well, we can see that the salt has melted a lot of the ice. If we look closely, we can actually see where the larger particles bored down through the salt and broken the bond between the ice and the stainless steel sheet.
Well, in all fairness, the bit of ice that hasn't had salt has melted quite a bit already. Yeah. It is a very mild day today.
It is.
The tyres of traffic help to spread the salt around, but in the county of Cheshire, the decision on when to start sending out the gritting lorries is taken by Rob Brooks. Well, here are just a few of your fleet of gritter lorries on standby. How many have you got altogether?
We've got 37 critters strategically placed around the county, with 15 critters operating directly out of the mine here at Winsford.
And how do you know when to call them out? Presumably you just don't wait until it gets frosty.
The Met Office provides us with weather forecasts from 6 weather stations across the county, and that provides us with information such as atmospheric temperature and road surface temperatures to allow us to decide when to salt the roads or not.
And of course, these days with global warming, I mean, it's very mild at the moment for January, isn't it? And that must give you quite a headache because you don't know when to expect the bad weather.
It does, and we rely on the Met Office forecast.
Are you finding you're not being called out as much these days?
It does vary. Last year we weren't called out as much as we normally would do. In a typical year, it would be somewhere in the region of 100 turnouts a year.
So that's saving quite a bit of money, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Making sure the gritters are out in good time has never been easy. A sudden cold snap means a busy time for the salt mine. And with the end of winter still a long way off, it's anyone's guess just how many million tons of rock salt will be needed.